this could very well be the last movie I see that is released in 2021 in 2021. I don't know if that's a fact or if it's just a guess. But that is my guess. I don't really know, honestly. I know that Journal for Jordan is in my movie theater. I don't think I'm going to have time to see it just because work is crazy and I'm buying a new car and the 31st is in a few days, so it's like, whoa. So I don't know if I'll be able to check that out at all. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I will watch more 2021 films that just won't be in 2021, and I'm going to make a film ranking all the movies I've seen in 2021 that'll come out on, I think it's the 8th of January, so I'm probably just going to do the ones that I've watched in 2021, which is still over 100 movies, so I think it's an adequate ranking, I guess. But yeah, obviously I didn't hit all the big ones. I didn't have time. I don't have the access to them. But I did hit a lot of them. But for what I believe is going to be the last movie that I see in 2021 that it was released in 2021, I'm going to be talking about American Underdog. American Underdog was released in 2021. It was written by David Aaron Cohen and John Gunn and John Irwin, and it was directed by John and Andrew Irwin. No spoilers, but the general idea is it follows the Rams. It follows, what's his name? Kurt Warner, as he becomes the first non-drafted NFL player to be a quarterback and to win the Super Bowl and be MVP of the Super Bowl and be MVP of the game. So it actually doesn't focus on football a whole lot. It actually really does take the time to focus on him and his story and his people and his family and him getting to know his wife. And I liked that a lot to a certain extent. To a certain extent, I think that was what we needed. I think we didn't need it to be a sports film for it to talk about sports. In fact, I think that a lot of sports films tend to focus a little bit too much on sports and not enough on the kind of relationship factor. I didn't have an issue with this one. I didn't have an issue with there not being enough football. There was football enough to the point where it was still a sports movie, but at its heart, it is a family drama and also kind of a faith film. It's not, I wouldn't qualify it as a faith film because it doesn't really talk about it a whole lot. It's more like there are characters that do believe in God in the film, and they do talk about it, but it's not a faith film. I wouldn't say this is God's not dead. I don't think it's like that at all. I think it is very much a sports movie that has some elements of faith and family and even comedy at some points. And it kind of works together pretty well. It does have the basic structure, I will say, of a sports film rather than a drama film. It's kind of a drama film if it were in the style and in the framework of a sports film, where we kind of have the beginning where we have the unlikely hero, and we know that the middle is where he kind of stumbles and has issues, and then he finally gets to the end and he gets to win the game, be a big hero kind of thing. Which I gotta say, I'm a sucker for. I love that kind of thing. I always have, I always will. I love sports films, I really do. There's never a sports film that I think that I've watched and I said, not a huge fan. I love them, I love the style, I love the structure. And this is no different, especially considering this one I think has the most likable characters I've seen in a sports film in a while. I know nothing about Kurt Warner at all. I know nothing about football, really. I know nothing about sports, and that's why it's really impressive that I like them. But we got Zachary Levi, who plays Kurt Warner, and I'm a huge fan of Zachary Levi. First of all, can we just talk about how much he looks like John Krasinski? He looks exactly like John Krasinski. It's freaking scary. To the point where I was like, I wonder if they ever think about casting John in something that Zachary's doing. I always think it's really interesting. But anyway, he plays a really likable character, as always. I don't think I've ever seen him play something unlikable yet. I want to see him play a villain one day. I think that'd be fantastic. But for now, we have likable characters, and that's fine. His character's awesome. I think it's great. I think he does a very, very, very good job at being this character who obviously loves football, who obviously loves his family. The acting is tender and soft. That's something we don't get a whole lot of from male actors nowadays. Most of the time, it's I want to be like an alpha male. I want to be the big guy or nothing. And this is kind of a soft, charactered football player that I really enjoy. I like kind of seeing that dynamic between him being soft towards his family, making sure his family's okay, but also wanting to be this super good football star. And I really like it. It's approached with a really good tenderness that I don't think we see a lot of, particularly in male actors nowadays. So I was happy to see that a lot. And also Anna Paquin did a really good job as Brenda. I don't love her. I think she's usually just kind of fine. But here, she was really, really good. I really enjoyed her performance. She was able to sell to us that she has a troubled past, that she is uncertain whether or not he's going to want to be part of the family, and I liked that because it didn't really tell you. It wasn't really like in your face about it, but I did like that a lot. I do say that the pacing wasn't particularly fantastic. It does kind of linger a lot on the early days. We don't get a whole lot of his NFL time, which is understandable because it's about the journey to the NFL. But I did want a little bit more from the final. Like, I wanted more from that. I wanted more to chew on. And I'm not necessarily upset about it. That's something that I wanted and I didn't get, which is understandable, I think. I also wouldn't hate to have some more of his younger stuff, like when he was like a child, and more leading up to that. I think it would have been nice. And there were some moments when I was watching, I was like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool if they did this in the beginning of the film? And it's kind of a callback. Like, I never thought about that because I'm not much of a film writer. I think of myself more as, like, if I ever get into film, it'll be, like, directing or acting. But, like, at this moment, I was like, I think I might have been able to write this better. Like, I think I might have actually been able to write this better. But Kurt Warner, of course, had his hands all over this project. I think he was executive producer. And he wrote the book that it's based on, and, of course, it is his life. So I imagine the writing was kind of strict towards realism. I don't know how real it is, but I imagine it's probably quite real. But I liked it a lot as a kind of a docu-film and as kind of a family sports film. Both, it worked really well. I had a good time in the theater. I enjoyed it. I think you guys should check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and give American Underdog a B+. Have you guys seen American Underdog? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about it. I do have it in my theater at Oneonta if you want to check it out at any point. I don't know how long we're gonna have it. I imagine, I don't know, because my manager said we're not getting anything new this week, so I suppose it could be a couple weeks, maybe? Maybe it's doing okay. I mean, it's doing better than Journal for Jordan, that's for sure. So, anyway, feel free to check it out at some point if you're interested. I would recommend it. It is fun, especially if you like dramas or if you like sports films. This is definitely one for you. But yeah, with all that being said, please consider showing up on the 31st of December from 1 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. I'm doing a live stream celebrating subscribers, so subscribe and show up to that. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys are too. And in the meantime, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.